Hi everyone, my name is Amanda, and I decided, out of like the rest of the world, to start a YouTube channel. And mine in particular is going to be about my family, mainly my pets, and even more specifically my reptiles. They really are my passion. But to start off with, I just wanted to give an introduction about myself to everyone, so you kind of knew, what my basis of what I was wanting to do with these videos. I'm 19. I live out here in the Midwest with my husband and my 1-month-old baby. Before anyone says anything, just because I'm 19 doesn't mean I'm some spoiled brat that lives off my mom and dad. Before my son was born, I held the same job for 3 years. I was a manager. In those 3 years, I worked 2 jobs for a year and went to school. And I still graduated 4th in my class in high school, and I still had a 3.5 GPA when I was in college, so, I did pretty good, so I'm not some, spoiled little brat or anything like that. First off, let me tell you how this whole reptile thing got started. It was about 7 months ago. I, just out of the blue, thought that having a pet snake would be awesome. Which is kind of weird for me because I've always been afraid of snakes. My mom just raised me that way. When I was 8 years old, I lived in a house that was infested with garter snakes. At least I think they were garter snakes. And, yeah, one day I just wanted one, and I actually found one that needed a new home. And he was $60 with him, his cage, his heat pad, tiny ass little heat pad, and his water bowl. It's kind of a sad situation. All that was $60, which to me I thought was kind of expensive, but now that I understand the reptile world, I'm like, that was actually a really good deal. But here's the go-getter. This was a 4-foot ball python, and male, in a 29-gallon tank. His water bowl took up half the tank. The heat pad was only big enough for a 10-gallon tank. He had no hide box. He had no, he did have bedding. It was that fur bark bedding, but she said it was like 2-3 months old. His shedding and feces and urine was all over it. He had literally probably about 4 layers of shed stuck onto his skin. And this lady said she took good care of him. When I took him to the vet, he was about a pound underweight. That's quite a bit for a ball python, considering now he weighs about 3.2 pounds. She said that she fed him a medium rat every 4 weeks. I feed him every 8 days. And sometimes it's medium and sometimes it's large. And now, he looks great. He's doing great. It was so award-winning. Just after a few weeks of taking care of him. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he had a respiratory infection on top of all that. That's not really surprising, a horrible condition he was living in. But, after a few weeks of TLC, he really came around. I gave him some antibiotics from the vet. His respiratory infection got fixed. He really started to become really affectionate, he also had mites. I gave him a bath twice a day, every day for 2 weeks, and they went away. I gave him clean bedding. I bought him a 55-gallon tank. I bought him a huge heat pad and some lights. And, but the most rewarding thing is when he went into that first shed with me. I made him a humidity box, and he came out, and all that old shed on the new shed was completely gone. He was like a brand new snake. He was so beautiful. And, I got pretty lucky this being my first snake, because he is so well-tempered. He lets me touch his head all over. He loves the baby. I can trust him being on the floor. He likes the dogs. He likes the cats. I got pretty lucky. But after him, I decided to kind of do like a reptile rescue. And that was in October of last year, so it's been 6 months. And I have rescued him, 2 more ball pythons, 3 leopard geckos, and a box turtle. See, out of the 3 ball pythons, obviously, I kept the one, and then I decided to keep another one, and the other one I rehomed. The 3 leopard geckos, one unfortunately died of impactation, and the The other female that came with her somehow miraculously lived. I mean, those two were in horrible conditions. I would make a whole video on that one leopard gecko, just how horrible condition she was and how great she is now. That took a very long time. And the other leopard gecko found a new home. The box turtle I got from someone